Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ on Ravelry as Mama Made VM. You can email me at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com. And as I say, you're all very, very welcome here. So this is actually a mid-year WIP parade, a special edition, right? It's not going to be my usual floss tube. So if you are looking for a usual floss tube, you'll have to check my last video. That was, I think, floss tube 30 something. I don't remember. But this is just going to be the WIPs that I have accumulated over the past year, essentially, of stitching. So you guys pretty much have seen every single one of my WIPs. Yeah, actually you have, because I was such a new stitcher when I started my floss tube that I've been able to grow with you all, and that's been really fun. But all that to say, I've got quite a few projects. I'll try to like put a tally number up in the corner over here so that when I'm at the end of the video, I'll actually know how many WIPs I have, because to be honest, right now, I don't know. I started a couple things in the past couple weeks since I last saw you guys. So yeah, let's jump in. I'm just gonna start with the project that I'm working on currently, and this is actually a SAL. I'm gonna go ahead and put the hashtag on the screen here. I believe it's Every Opening Flower SAL, and it is Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais. It's a beautiful pattern. I absolutely love this pattern. It's stunning. I snagged it as soon as it was released. I absolutely loved it. I love a good willow tree and I love a good house, okay? I'm honestly not even the biggest fan of stitching houses, but it's the way they look when they're actually stitched up is so fun. I am copying Bridget with this one in the fact that the B and the M, which are my initials, Megan Babauta, I will be stitching in this blue color. And I started mine yesterday. I'm stitching it with actually some Vicki Clayton silks. So when I went to StitchCon, I was sitting at the table talking to Bridget, the museum stitcher, and I was like, you know, I feel like I just didn't like do enough shopping. And she was like, well, I'm looking at some silks right now. Do you just want me to buy you a pack? And so I paid her to buy me a pack, and I got the Vicki Clayton silk pack. Oh, is it beautiful? Oh my goodness, I just absolutely love it. It's so pretty. So these are probably the softest, smoothest silks I've ever felt in my life. I'm still gonna be a diehard Dinky Dyes girl when it comes to my silks, but these are fabulous. I'll definitely be kitting up more pieces in the future with these Vicki Clayton silks. And I literally they come on spools, and I took the sticker that was on the spool, I just peeled it off really carefully, and I used it as my floss drop tag. So there is that, and I'm stitching this on 40 Count Ledger by Bestitch Me, which was a fabric of the month. And here's my project. So I'm really loving this, and this fabric is amazing. You know what's funny is when I first got this fabric, I wasn't obsessed with it. I'm not the biggest like yellow blue person. My mom is though. She loves yellow and blue. Those are her favorite colors actually, but I'm more of like, when it comes to fabrics at least, like fabrics for cross stitching, of course, not fabrics in general, but fabrics for cross stitching, I find that I like blues and I like creams and neutrals. And although this kind of gives you the best of both worlds, I don't know, something about it I just didn't love. But now that I'm stitching on it, I absolutely love it. The fabric is perfect for the project. You can see over here, I had a little bit more yellow splotching, so I went with the blue side of my fabric. But yeah, I'm really liking this. This is a Rebel Stitcher needle minder. Colleen, I absolutely love her. And the project's going great. So like I said, I just started it last night, and today is Monday, the 3rd. So it's right before the 4th of July. I'm hoping to get this edited and up to you guys tomorrow, the 4th of July. Fingers crossed that actually happens. We'll see. My next project is also a new start since I last spoke to you guys. This is a Brenda Keyes traditional sampler book, and I believe that you can still get this on Shakespeare's Peddler, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'll try to link the book below. I'm not going to link every single pattern, but I'll link ones that are in books and such so that I can just give you guys a good resource for purchasing. But this is the pattern that I started since I last saw you guys. This is the bird sampler, and I am stitching mine on a 36 count piece of bramble, which I think is a Picture This Plus fabric. Yeah, PTP. I have the the label sticker back here. Bridget, the museum stitcher, actually gifted me this this linen. She gifted it to me to stitch a small on, and I totally stole it from that and replaced that with a neutral fabric. And I stole this one for my bird sampler. So here's my progress. I'm stitching it 2/2 on the 36 count. I don't know, I liked the full coverage, and I liked how plump and just beautiful the stitches were looking. I did make a couple of changes. So let me get nice and close for you guys. So, sorry if you can hear my daughter in the background, by the way. We're home today, I have today off, so I have a long weekend. But this, typically it has like a light yellow on the interior of the inside of the flower. I went ahead and just swapped it out with the blue. There is supposed to be some yellow dots within this, but I felt like that made it look kind of like an octopus, so I went ahead and omitted those as well. And so far I've just been kind of going with the flow of what I felt would, I don't know, look nice. I don't actually know if this is a like 100% reproduction piece. I can't tell from the description in the book if it was based on a sampler, so they just took the sampler and recreated it to their own, or if it's an actual reproduction. Give me a moment, maybe I can figure it out. Yeah, it looks like it's based on a sampler. So it's based on a Dutch design dated from 1843. So I think that Brenda Keyes actually designed this herself, which does explain to me why the colors are kind of outdated, because it wasn't like the colors were antique, they just literally looked outdated. They looked very 80s, 90s. And so I have made a little bit of changes, kind of like the lavenders and stuff. That's very tall tale of the times. But so I love the colors, actually. I really like them. I'm just using them more where I feel they fit rather than the pattern. I'm also not going to stitch the letters, the 1/1 letters with the dark brown. I'm gonna go ahead and swap those out with the dark blue color instead, because I feel like it'll pop on my fabric. And I started this for my Pick-a-Whip, which was the brainchild of Marjorie Maid, and I'll link her channel down below. Her last floss tube, she came up with this amazing idea called Pick-a-Whip, and she's pulling from a jar 2 prompts, and that's why I like it personally, because I'm very much a go with the flow kind of stitcher. I want to stitch whatever I want to stitch on. So when it comes to these goal-oriented, like, you have to get X amount of stitches done on this project, or you have to stitch on this project exactly, and you cannot get, like, I'm very follow the rules, but I also don't like to be put within those rules for a hobby, something that's supposed to be fun. So her prompts are very vague, and it makes it to where you can really, like, you get an option to actually pick a project based on the prompt. So like the prompt she pulled was birds. So that is like so many patterns. That's Halloween, Christmas, that's so many different patterns. And so I coincidentally had just started this bird sampler literally the day before, so that worked out perfectly. And I've just been stitching on it ever since. It's kind of like my focus piece for the next 2 weeks, essentially. My next project, this is actually a PDF that I purchased because I bought the magazine. It is the 2022 autumn edition of Cross Stitcher magazine. I'll go ahead and pop a picture of the pattern here. This is Ode to Autumn, and I'm stitching it with the called for DMCs. I do have extra DMCs on here though, because I do have to change a couple of the colors of some of the houses, just because some of the houses are too close to my fabric, and my fabric is hand dyed by me. This is a 14 count Ada that I hand dyed in December of last year, and here is my progress. So I'm stitching this 2/2 on the Ada, and I just really love this project. It is so good. I really love how my Ada turned out. This was my very first soiree into dyeing fabrics, and it was really fun. I definitely think I would do it again if I ever feel the need or if I ever can't find a fabric that's just right. But yeah, it was super fun. And this is a Sal that, oh, what is her name? Kelsey Lee and things. She started this Sal, the Ode to Autumn Sal, and she talks about it more on her channel, so definitely go check her out. Yeah, love this. It's super cute. You guys know I love autumnal themed things. I have made a few changes just to make the colors pop a little bit better. So like the lamppost, it was supposed to be this darker gray. I went ahead and swapped it out with black. The cat also was supposed to be the darker gray. Went ahead and swapped that out with black. Just kind of things to make it work for my fabric, because I did of course choose to dye up a very deep fabric because I love Halloween. If you know me, you know that. And yeah, it's a super cute project. It's one of my few Ada stitches, so it's definitely one of those ones that's super fun. Sorry, I think I just flashed the backboard that's on this bag. I'll link this bag below if I can remember to. It, of course, I'll censor the backboard if it did flash on the screen. The next project is one of my other very few Ada stitches, and this is on a 16 count monster mash, which is a picture this plus Ada. This is another PDF pattern. It's a Carolyn Manning pumpkin patch. I'll pop a picture here on the screen of the pattern itself. And this one I think is going to be a restart for me. So this is one of the ones that honestly doing this WIP parade has made me realize like it was such a sad start that I should just use the fabric for something else. I have so many Halloween things kitted up, and I have so many things that this fabric would really work for, and I feel like this pattern is not doing the fabric justice. So here is my little tiny start. I love the way the stitches look, don't get me wrong, it looks fabulous, and they look so good 2/2 on this monster mash, but I had a huge cut of it because I wanted to be able to like pick the places where I put my squares, because I was gonna stitch individual squares, but I just found that I don't honestly know if I love this kind of stitching style where it's just the little triangles and squares. I don't know if I love it. And also I think it would have looked better if I chose maybe like a 14 count, just plain white Ada. And I know that's really boring, but I just think that the colors would have actually popped more, because the colors are like this amazing array of just Halloween pumpkin patch colors. And I feel like I wanted to do this crazy fabric thinking it would look amazing. And although it looks great, it just kind of makes the fabric lose its, I don't know, its pop, because the colors are so vibrant themselves. So this is one of the projects that I am going to frog, and I'll have it in my kitted up projects. I just need to get a piece of Ada that I like, because I do like these softer Adas, like this picture, this plus Ada. It's very, very soft. So if you're a linen stitcher and maybe for some reason you've never stitched on Ada, try the picture this plus. It's really, really soft. Has the feel of linen in your hands. So love that, but just not the right fabric. So that'll be a restart for me. I don't know when I'm gonna restart that, to be honest, because I don't feel the draw to it currently, but I'll restart it eventually. This is my next project, and I had these actually in a separate drawer of my little container that I keep my WIPs in, because this is also one that I think I'm gonna restart. I have some girlfriends that are doing this, and this is the Vanity Sampler by Liz Matthews. So hello from Liz Matthews. I'll pop a picture of the pattern here. And I'm doing the goth conversion provided by Cam the Stitcher. I'll link her YouTube channel below, but I don't like my fabric choice. I think my fabric choice is just a little too boring for these beautiful colors. So here's Cam's conversion, which I mean is right up my alley. I love these colors. This is actually my favorite DMC. It's 915. It matches my shirt. It's my favorite DMC color, but I don't like it with my fabric. I think I want to swap my fabric out for a lavender piece. I'll show you my tiny little start though. So here's my very minuscule start. And I think you can see already that the fabric's just not working. This is a 32 count picture this plus Heartland, and I have a half yard. So I do have a large cut of it, which it's fabulous. I love this fabric, but I feel like this would do service to just a very traditional sampler. And because I've chosen to do the alternate colorway that Cam provides, I think I want to do a fabric that's a little bit different, like a soft lavender or something that has like lavender and blue splotching on it. But this would be good for Christmas pieces. It'd be good for a lot of my traditional just samplers, a lot of the monochromatic pieces I like to do. So this is another one that I'm gonna put the fabric back in my stash, and I'm gonna have this in my kits instead of in my WIPs. So no longer will there be a Vanity Sampler for Megan over here, but that's okay with me. It's one of those ones that, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I've been holding on to this fabric forever. Like, it's one of the very first large cuts of linen that I purchased at my L&S, but it's just not meant for this project. And I would rather stop stitching on something like, you know, before I'm really, really invested than to continue stitching and get a quarter of the way through and realize, you know, I don't really like this. And if I don't feel a pull to stitch on it, and I've had it in my my kits for a while, then a lot of the time I will just UFO things. So yeah, this is this as well as my pumpkin start from Carolyn Manning. Those are going to be my UFOs. Those are my only UFOs though, so I feel like that's pretty good. The next project, this was also a stitch along. This is a wavy ride, and this was a Blackboard Designs that was reprinted recently. And Abby, the Top Knot Stitcher, she did a stitch along for this, and I was at weekend A of StitchCon where a bunch of us ladies started it. And I have a really cute picture of all of us together. I'll post it, or I'll pop it on the screen here. And I am stitching this 1/2, I think, on, oh no, 2/2 on 32 count needle and flax Endora. I think I'm doing 2/2. Yes, I am. And I've been really good, and I have only stitched on the border because I wanted to get that border complete, to be honest. So yeah, I just did a little bit more on the border, 2/2 with all the called for flosses. The only called for floss that I couldn't get my hands on was, you know, honestly, I don't remember which one it was, but I did go ahead and just swap it out for the DMC. Get these all in order. And of course I have a little StitchCon marker on here too, a little StitchCon charm. I think someone was passing those out at weekend A, and they left one at my chair, but I don't know who it was because there was no tag with it. So if it was you, let me know. I've been using mine on my a wavy ride because it was my StitchCon project, and yeah, it's just a super fun project. I really love it. The fabric is absolutely amazing. I got a lot of questions when I was at StitchCon about what fabric this is. So yeah, it's 32 count Endora by Needle and Flax. I would say if you want needle and flax linens, to try to see if there's a place that already has them in stock, because I had an awful time ordering from this company. I don't know, my stuff just never shipped, and then when I emailed them, they never responded to my email. So I wasn't really happy with that, but whatever. I ended up getting it anyways, so it got to me, and it's a beautiful fabric. So definitely, if you don't mind waiting for linens, I would say order, but if not, I think there's a couple of needlepoint stores that carry needle and flax, so maybe just do a quick Google and see if you can find any that have it in stock in the actual store. And this is in a me-made bag, so this is the first project I have, I think. Yeah, the first one I have that's in a fun bag, and this is a bag that I sewed up myself. That's why I always say me-made. I hope that people don't think that's a brand. It's literally just what I say when I made the bags for myself. So it has a super cute like black cats and pumpkins and like these little cauldrons and stuff. So love that, super fun. Next project, this is one, okay, this one's iffy. It might be a UFO. So this is the Greenhouse of Oddities Sal. I'll go ahead and pop a picture of what the pattern looks like currently. I actually haven't even downloaded the newest version of the pattern. That's how far behind I am. It's one of those ones that I wanted to get it started with everyone, but I think for me, I'm gonna wait for a lot more of the pattern to get released to see if I actually want to devote my time to stitching it. Here are all the DMCs, so it's quite a vibrant bunch of very beautiful colors. It does hold a lot of DMC from your stash, so if you're not someone who likes to hold a ton of flosses in one project, then maybe just pull like single strands that you might need from your main set and put them on floss drops. So I have this on a huge ring, and I started mine on Portobello, which is a 36 count Be Stitch Me fabric. This was a fabric of the month, so I'm not sure if it is like one of her permanent lines. I'm not sure, but I do really love the fabric. And here's my tiny little start. It's 2/2 for me that I decided to go with for my stitching, and I do like it. I love the pattern so far. It's a little bit more cutesy than is my typical style. So because of that, that's the only reason why I haven't really committed to even finishing the frame. Sorry if you can hear my daughter yawning. She's a dramatic yawner. But yeah, because it's a little bit cutesy, it's the only one that well, you know, I should have known, because the Haunted Library, I really liked that, but it was one of those ones that I really loved this style, but I knew it wasn't my style, so I never stitched it because it's a little bit too cutesy for me. And so same thing is happening here. And I was a little worried when I first saw the colors anyway, because some of them are pretty bright, and I don't really mind bright colors. Obviously, I mean, I'm wearing a bright magenta top. It's more so just, I knew it was going to be a little cutesy. So anyway, it was really one of those ones that I should have known better. I should have known it was going to be a little bit more cutesy than is my usual style, but it is what it is. I had FOMO and I had to start it with everyone. So it's also in a Me Made bag. I sewed up this bag for myself last year, and it's just, I think last year, maybe the beginning of this year, I don't remember. But it's this amazing cut of like bookstore fabric. I just absolutely love it. It's so much fun. So from there, the next project I have is a Plum Street Samplers. This is Shepherd's Song. It's a really tiny project photo. So I love this one. This was actually my birthday start, so April 28th of this year is when I started it. I'm using all the called for flosses, and I'm stitching it 1/2 on a 32 count Nessie by Picture This Plus. So here are the flosses. So kind of an array, Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. Totally worth it though, because the project is stunning. I just thought it was special and fun because of all the fancy flosses, and I really love Nessie. It's one of my favorite Picture This Plus fabrics. I started in a weird spot though, because I really liked the modeling right here, so I wanted my house to be near that, and so I started it kind of in the middle. But yeah, 1/2 on the Nessie is absolutely stunning. I'm really liking the 1/2 on the Picture This Plus for this this project. So essentially, I liked the modeling all over here. So that is where my project is gonna go to. Or I don't know what I was thinking, guys. I was thinking something. Yeah, I do like the modeling on this side. You just can't see it as well on the camera. Yeah, there, you can kind of tell. There's just a lot more modeling on this fabric, and it's so beautiful. Ugh, I love it. Nessie by Picture This Plus. I got mine from Hollis Creates. Christine, she is just an angel. I love her. Love the way she runs her shop. She's such a joy. I got to meet her at StitchCon, and yeah, I just love her. She is so fabulous. She is like supermodel beautiful. She's stunning, and I love her. And we're best friends in my eyes. So does she know that? I don't know. I just adore her. I think she runs a really great shop, and that's really important to me. I want someone who, like, when they're out of town, they shut down their shop. I want someone who, like, when stuff is going on, they're not trying to run a shop and run a business and also deal with all of that. You know, like, it doesn't make any sense. And she just runs a shop so amazingly well, and I really, really just appreciate that, and I think her shop is worth taking a look at. So shout out to her and this project, which I absolutely love. So that was a really fun one, and I've kind of focused on it in the past month. I didn't really focus on it like the whole month, but I did do like a little motif. I wanted to get a motif done, so I finished like the interior of the flower, and I did a little bit more of the border, stuff like that. And then that project bag as well was from Alexis, from Alexis_My_Amazing_World. She is just a dear friend of mine. I absolutely love that lady. And she sewed me up that bag, and she also sewed me up this bag. Okay, so in here, I have Teresa Koket's Come to the Garden. I actually follow a lady on Instagram who has like the most amazing style. I love everything she stitches. I'm gonna pop her, it's like 7 Day Stitch, I think is her Instagram. But all that to say, she just picks amazing projects. Like, I love everything she picks. So I'm stitching this on Fawn by Picture This Plus, which is probably one of my favorite neutrals, with all the called for flosses. So again, it's a real mix of flosses. It's DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Colorworks, and the Gentle Arts. So it's a little bit of everything, but it is so worth it because it's so beautiful. And again, Fawn by Picture This Plus, absolutely amazing. And here's my progress. So I actually have a good, you know, like the upper portion of this. I definitely want to pull this back out because it feels so summery to me. I would love to get this motif finished. I put it away honestly because I was getting really annoyed. So the way that the project is laid out in the book has a lot of page divides, and I mean, even when I was thinking I was doing a good job, I kept messing up. And I think it's because the strawberries look identical. So it was kind of hard to tell where you left off and where the overlap was for this page to that page. But anywho, I was down here, got frustrated, and decided to go ahead and just start stitching up the little cherub that's up here. And I've been working away on that since. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull this out for the summertime. I wanna give you guys a good glimpse of this fabric. It is so pretty. Again, Fawn by Picture This Plus. I got this at my L&S, Threadneedle Street. But it's so pretty. How good is this border too? Oh, absolutely stunning. Love it. So really enjoy this project. I know it's going to be a big one, but oh, it's so pretty. I just can't wait to have this one hanging up on my wall. It's stunning. I would like to get that upper quadrant done and then possibly maybe this summer and move on to the following pieces. So I might leave this one out and stitch on it tonight. It just is like really calling me right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one off to the side. So maybe I can make it a little focus. Okay. Next one in one of these little Amazon bags. Another Plum Street. Love those gals, apparently, because I absolutely love all of their projects. This is Miss Bingley's Library. This is one that I'm not sure of the linen. I think it's just winter white. And I got this cut off of 123 stitch. I'm pretty sure it's a 36 count. And I'm using all the called for flosses. So we just got my little very soft, subtle colors here. And I've got my stitching here. So this one's not very far off from a finish. Why am I not focusing on it to finish it? I don't know. This was one of my Pride Month starts from last year, 2022, my first year of stitching. And I just really love it. I did swap out the flag for a pride flag. That was one of the only changes. And I made her mug a green mug just because I felt like the green mug was very synonymous with Starbucks. And that green was just the called for green within the called for flosses. So I went ahead and swapped it out with a green mug just to kind of give it an ode to Washington. But yeah, I really love this project. It's so pretty. I think it just looks so lovely. And the house, although you can't really tell, I guess you kind of can, the fabric is cream. It's like a creamy white, and the house is a very pure white. I am just gonna go ahead and do a back stitch down the side of the house so you can really differentiate the beginning and end of the house. But overall, I think it shows up just fine. I know it's not really in your face showing up, but in person when you look at it, it's a very, it's a big contrast between the creamy white of the fabric and the white of the house. So I'm not too worried about it, and I just love the way it's looking. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know, whenever I feel hankering to stitch a bunch of white, I think that's honestly what's killing me on this one, is I have the lower half of the house left, and then it's just words, which are so easy to stitch. Like I could knock out all the words in a day, but the lower half of the house, white stitches over and over and over again, come on, come on. I'm just not in the mood for it. And also the lower half of the house is wider. It is a larger, it's a lot more stitches on the bottom half than it is on the top. So yeah, I don't know, but I do really like it. It's a beautiful project, and I would love to have it finished because I have this empty space on the wall up there with all my books, and how cute would this project be right up there? I mean, come on. Next project I have, it's actually a Christmas project, so I'm not in any kind of order here. This is Stacy Nash Primitives, Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the glare because I have two large windows in front of me, and this is an actual photograph. So I love this project. I could not get my hands on the called for fabric. I think it's like an R&R. I've never even heard of them. I've never seen anyone stitching on any of their fabric. I have no idea if they even exist still. Truly don't know. I'm using most of the called for flosses. I did swap out the red for cayenne, and they actually say that carriage black is a good alternate for the roof because the roof used to be stitched, I think it was walnut, and then it got the color has changed so much that Stacy Nash actually leaves a little note inside the booklet that says, I would now use carriage black. So I went ahead and just picked up the carriage black, and I've made a couple of changes because there is a border on this on the upper portion that it has the whole alphabet, almost like a sampler. And I just felt like that didn't really add much to the project. So I went ahead and decided not to stitch it. I'm stitching this on a 36 count gray magic by Bestitch Me 1/2. This is a beautiful fabric. My cut is very blue, so I love it for this Christmassy piece. So yeah, 1/2 is looking fabulous. And here's a glimpse of the fabric. So I really liked the pop that the red gave, so that's why I did swap mine out, because I wanted it to be just a nice Christmassy red. And yeah, I love the way it's looking. It looks really nice. Like, I think I might do Christmas in July, and I'll probably, of course, be pulling out this one because I don't have a crazy amount of Christmas pieces. I mean, I have more than I think I have more than I thought I had. But yeah, this one is definitely one that I would work on for Christmas in July if I do decide to go for it. My next project is a PDF that I have, Kathy Barrick's Good Intentions. So I'll pop the PDF picture here. I'm stitching this on 32 count Gingerbread Lugana by Picture This Plus. I did a full conversion just myself because I wanted to make it more Megan colors. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all the colors that are on this floss ring, but these are the colors that I liked together. So that's what I'm doing. And here is my project. So shout out to Maddie of Kitty Stitch. She actually gave us this little cat conversion. So instead of a dog, there's a cat there. And I've obviously made complete color swaps to everything, but so far I changed her hair and I gave her these little glasses because I'm a glasses wearer, and I also put a little necklace on her because I do quite like a good little necklace. But yeah, super cute. Just a fun little project. I feel like it's kind of a autumnal fall, but not in your face with my color conversion. And I really do like actually this Lugana. I'm not the biggest fan of a Lugana or an even weave, but I do like this one. That 30, it was a 32 or a 36 count. I can't quite remember, but it's very soft, like pillowcase soft. It's lovely to stitch on. And I really love it with the colors that I picked out. I will say I do have teals on my, my floss ring, but the teals on the gingerbread, they pull too green because the gingerbread is really a very warm pinky toned brown, and that means that the color teal really looks green on it. So I've been going with the pinks instead, and I'm really liking it. Oh, look at this is terrible. I deserve to go to floss tube jail. That is awful. This bag is so crinkled. Okay, so this is a relatively new start. Another one that I think I'll focus on for Christmas in July. These are the, it's like the 12 Days of Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews. I've only started the first day of Christmas, so I'll pop a picture here. And I'm stitching this on Silver Moon, which is just a basic linen that my LNS has. I think it's a Zweigart base because it does have orange on it. And I did get a whole yard of this because I was actually going to use this for my pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. But when I got it home, Bridge and the Museum Stitcher, we were talking in a group chat that we're in, and sorry, I have one of my windows cracked open, and so it's just really pretty out today, and I wanted the fresh air, so you can hear some road sounds. But anyways, Bridget and I, we're in a group chat, us and the girlies, and we were talking about these patterns, and she was thinking about restarting hers, and it totally gave me the push to start it myself. And so here is my little start. Definitely want to pull this out for Christmas in July. I think that this is absolutely stunning. I am in love with the way the stitches look on this 40 count. I have just gone for all the DMCs, and I have more than what's needed for just the first day of Christmas. I have like several days of the Christmases on here. I think I have like 3 skeins of the DMC black, 3 skeins of 356. Like I have multiples of them on these floss drops, and I have it on a large ring because I am going to stitch them as one piece all together. I think, at least. I don't know. But yeah, I really, really love this. It's so cute. It looks so good. Yeah, that's a good one. It's very pretty. So this would be one for sure if I do decide to stitch on Christmas in July that I will be pulling out. It's just such a beautiful project. And the stitches on that 40 count Zweigart are amazing. They just look so full and delicious. And like, that's one thing that I feel like sometimes when I'm stitching on 40 count, I feel like I get these really good, beautiful, perfect stitches. And sometimes I feel like they look like they're on 36 count, which is not a bad thing per se, but you know, it's not the same. Like if I'm going to the effort of stitching on a 40 count, I want to go all in. I want my cute little tiny stitches. Sorry, the sun is just starting to really shine down here, and I have my blinds kind of open up there, so bear with me. All right, my next project, this is Blackwork Butterfly. the black butterfly. I don't quite remember. I'll go ahead and pop a picture of the PDF pattern here on the screen. Sorry, you can see all the dust now in the air. Let me just close my blinds. One moment. I'm starting mine on an Atomic Ranch weathered stone. I'm pretty sure this is Lugana, and I think it's like a 32 or 36 count. It was sold to me as a 40, so that's why I don't really know. And it was also sold to me as a linen, but there ain't no way this is a linen. This is an even weave for sure. And it's not a 40 count. I actually started a different project on this and I was like, why do my stitches look so big? There's no way this is a 40 count. Sure enough, it was a 32 or 36. And here's my little start. So I love this, and I love this fabric. The fabric is absolutely stunning. And I'm stitching it with Glorianas, which is just these beautiful tealy blue. This is Pacific Blue Dark. There was 4 skeins at my LNS, so I went ahead and picked them all up because I knew I was going to use it for something. I didn't know when, but I knew I was going to use it for something. I really love these dark tealy blues. They're just some of my faves. And this is a pretty small project overall, so I figured I'll just do it monochromatic, all with the Glorianas, and it'll be just a cute little small butterfly finish. I'm going to go mess with my blinds a little bit so they're closed a little better. And that one I have in this tiny little bag that Hello from Liz Matthews was giving out at StitchCon. And I mean, hey, it already came in handy. It totally works for my project because this one is a PDF. And so these small little bags are clutch for these tiny little pieces you're working on that you have a PDF of, because you're not gonna have a paper pattern in there, you know what I mean? Next here, this is a Halloween pattern. This is Jardine Privé's Lady Halloween. I know I worked on this one recently. So you guys, if you watch my FlossTube channel, have probably seen it. And this is one that I'm stitching on Smoky White, which is a Zweigart, a 28 count, 2/2. And here's my progress. I feel like we're really sleeping on this fabric though, because is this not amazing? The fabric is so good and the project looks amazing on it. So I highly recommend this for a monochromatic black work piece. Like all black stitching looks so good on this Smoky White. I also feel like Smoky White would be good for like Christmas pieces. So yeah, really love this. Like I said, all DMC 310. There are some other DMCs that are called for, but I'm just choosing to stitch it in all 310 because I saw, what did I see? I saw this on the back, and that one, it's in all black, and I just really loved the way it looked, so I knew that that was what I wanted to do, and yeah, I'm really liking it. It's super fun. I just have my DMC on a little floss drop, and I have another one right here, so why do I have 2 floss drops in there? Who knows? Something Megan of several months ago did, I'm sure. Yeah, I really love this project on the 28 count. It's one of those ones that when I'm just not feeling stitching those tiny little stitches, I'll pull this one out because the 2/2 on 28 count is very easy to see. And Zweigart bases as well, I feel like they're not too tight. They really are a true count. Like if you get a 40 count Zweigart, it's truly a 40. If you get a 36, it's 36, so on and so forth. So yeah, I love their stuff. So from there, I have this one, which I'm not too sure about anymore, to be honest. I actually really love the pattern, but I don't think I like that I stitched it 1/2. So this is Matter's Choice by Carriage House Samplings, or yeah, Samplings. And I really just enjoyed the cover photo. I actually like this orange version as well, but I did buy the called for MPIs, which is MPI 928. Atlantic Blue, I believe is the name, but 928 is just the number. Here it is, a very deep dark blue. And I'm stitching this on 36 count copper kettle, but I stitch it 1/2, and I kind of wish I stitched it 2/2. I love the copper kettle. It's a very nice warm brown, but I don't know if the 1/2 shows up well enough. I mean, it does. What do you guys think? Should I restart this 2/2? Because I did get 2 skeins of copper, or 2 skeins of the 928 MPI silk, but I can always order more, you know? It's pretty cute. I don't know. I love this little squirrel, little bird or duck. Oh, it's so cute. but it's one of those ones that I don't reach for it very often because I don't know. I think I wish that I would have gone for 2/2, so I had a little bit more plumpness to the stitches and they would have really been a contrast to the copper kettle linen. But I mean, I can't really say there's no going back because there is. Like, I could choose to restart it, but I don't know if I want to. So yeah, not sure about this one. I really like the project. Carriage House Samplings has some beautiful pieces, so check that out if you haven't seen it. Next one, this was a Sal. Heather, the 20-minute stitcher, and Bridge in the Museum stitcher had started, and it is a Lila Studio Halloween Quaker. I think the Sal is Halloween Quaker Sal. I'll put it on the screen if that was incorrect, but this is Lila Studio's Halloween Quaker. It's so good. I absolutely love this. The witch in the middle is iconic. Love her. I'm using all the called for fancy flosses, so I really enjoy this, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count Meyer. 32 or 36. I'm pretty sure it's a 32 count. Yeah, 32 count Meyer even weave by Picture This Plus. This is they call theirs a Lugana, not an even weave. Although I think that those are the same thing. I don't think there's a difference. But here's my little tiny start. This is one that I do also wish that I would have done 2/2 instead of 1/2. But overall, I like it. And I think that everything is legible. Like you can tell that these, these are a little Quaker motif and that's a witch hat, and so it looks fine. The fabric's really fun for this one. I really enjoy this. I can't wait to get to the witch in the middle here. I think it's gonna look so good on that gray mottled portion. So yeah, love that. Again, kind of wish I would have done 2/2, but it is what it is, I just can't wait to get out of that corner because that corner is pretty much all, I mean, the purple is exciting and fun, but the rest of it is like all these, I mean, they're not boring colors per se, but they're like the duller of the bunch. I just want to get to some of those bright oranges, to be honest. So yeah, there's that one. My next project, this is Welcome Halloween by The Drawn Thread. Here is the cover photo. This calls for all NPIs and dinky dyes, and I decided to just do all the, like a conversion myself, and I just have done all DMCs. I do have one DMC variegated, and then the rest are just basic DMCs, and I'm stitching this on a 36 count, just natural linen, and I have the little W done. There's a little W. Love that. It's so cute. So yeah, I can't wait to get more of this done. I'll have a good portion of the fabric left, so if I do decide to stitch the autumn welcome, I think I'll use the same exact fabric. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do a flat fold with this as well, and probably just put some little trim around the edging or something really, like, I like cutesy Halloween stuff sometimes, and so I think I might do kind of a cutesy Halloween thing with it. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get there when I get there. I really like the project. I'm doing it 2/2. I don't know if I mentioned that, and it's a really good one. The stitches look so full on this as well. It's fabulous. Next project I have is White Winter Moth. This is a Sal that I started with Cam the Stitcher. Of course, I'll have her linked below, and I'm stitching this 1/2 with the called for DMC conversion. So the DMC conversion is this, these beautiful teals. I think that's like the bright white and a nice golden color. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count Honey by Bestitch Me. 1/2, and here is my progress. This fabric is just lovely. It truly is like the color honey. It's beautiful. So I really like it, and it's just been a fun project. Cam pulls hers out on the 13th of every month, and I think I'm gonna start doing that as well and just try to get some of these really tiny motifs knocked out. Even if it's just 1 or 2 of them in an evening of stitching, I just feel like that would be the easiest way for me to tackle this project, and then slowly working away on the moth as I go. So yeah, I like that one. Let me fold this a little bit better. Next project, this is actually going to have to be a restart for me. This is Thea Gouvenier's Lady and the Unicorn. I have the linen edition for this one, and I love this project, but it's one of those ones that when I started it, I should have listened to Denise. She owns my LNS out near me, and she actually has stitched this before herself, and she told me to start in the middle, but I was a brand new stitcher and I didn't listen. So I started at the upper left-hand corner, but there is like probably an inch here, so I only gave myself like a 2-inch, 3-inch border or margin, but it's not enough. I saw like someone had emailed me and sent me a photo of their finish of this, and their margin is like 1.5 inches. It's so small. So that made me realize that I have to completely restart this, and I'm just gonna restart it in the middle. But yeah, it's a kit, so these are all the called for DMCs. I'm stitching it 1/2, which is the called for, but I have to restart it. I don't even have an option to not restart it unless I want to cut off a bunch of the bottom stitching, which wouldn't be an end all be all. Like, it wouldn't be so bad if I cut off some of the stitching on the bottom, but I'd probably have to omit like a good solid inch of the bottom of her dress. So pretty much just 1 inch across the bottom here, which I could do, you know? So it's one of those things where it's like, do I just restart it and start from the center, or do I just keep stitching? I don't know. I haven't felt the need to stitch on this or the call to stitch on it anytime recently, so I'm not gonna push myself to make any hard, steadfast decisions currently. I'll decide when I decide. The next project, this is actually a project book I have in here because I just keep it all together. This is Home for the Holidays, which is a Blackboard Design book. I bought this specifically to stitch, let me find the pattern, Christmas Garden. This is an outer print Blackbird, and they reprinted it inside this book. One thing I do wish is that when they reprinted this, I wish that they gave you colors that actually represented the cover photo here. The colors have changed so much because they're fancy flosses, they're overdyes, and so, I think this was stitched in 2011. So the flosses have changed quite a bit. So if you're looking for a colorway conversion that is more similar to the cover, or a colorway that's more similar to the cover, I would say do a conversion yourself. I did go for the called fors because, I don't know, I didn't feel like even caring enough to look at it all. I just bought it. And the called fors, although beautiful, they're very primitive. So you can see there's not even much of a difference between the gold from the greens, and they're just very, very soft colors. I'm not disliking it. It's just not what I would have gone for if I had taken the time to really put some work into it before I purchased. But it's my own fault. I mean, I didn't even bother to look. I just clicked, like add all to cart, and that's what I did. So this I'm stitching on a Cream and Sugar. I can't remember who dyes Cream and Sugar, but not Color and Cotton. I don't remember, but it's Cream and Sugar. I know that for sure. And here is my stitching. I'm doing it 1/2, again, with all the called fors. And I think it's lovely. It's so pretty. Oh, I just love it. So definitely if I do pull out for Christmas in July, this will be one of them that I work on. I would like to get the other half of this quadrant completed if I can. I don't know if I can, but it's so pretty. So yeah, if you do like this soft, more subtle, just very primitive looking stitch, then do go for the called for. If you want more of those like true Christmassy reds, Christmas gold, then I would do a conversion yourself. There's a few other ladies that did this pattern, and they have done conversions that are just fabulous. Like, check out the Museum Stitcher. Maybe go check out Alexis from Alexis_My_Amazing_World. Look at her Instagram and see if she has any photos of hers, because she did a really good conversion as well. My next project, this is also a PDF. I'll pop a picture here. This is Rose Quakers. And I'm using all the called for DMC flosses here. So just a nice array of just pinky browns, blushes. It's so pretty, and I have this on some Adam Hart floss hearts, and I'm stitching this on a 36 count hot cocoa 1/2. This is one that I definitely want to focus on in February of next year. I feel like it's the perfect February project. So I just have a couple of tiny motifs done and a third one kind of in the starts. Yeah, I love this. It's so pretty. The fabric is lovely. I love the colors. I might have a little bit of an issue with some of the brown beigey colors showing up on the Bestitch Me Hot Cocoa, but I really like the fabric, and my first initial fabric was actually that Atomic Ranch Weathered Stone, but I had stitched like 2 whole motifs and realized that those stitches were way too big. There was no way that that was a 40 count, and that's how I figured out and had to replace it with this hot cocoa that I had in stash. So love this. It's a really good project, and this is in a me-made bag that I sewed up for myself. I just love it. I love these flowers. They're so like autumnal and pretty. So here's actually another Christmas one in a me-made bag. This is a lavender and lace pattern. Let me see if I have the cover photo still. Yeah, here we go. This is the Spirit of Christmas. I just love this guy. This little Santa Claus is the cutest thing ever. I'm using all the called for DMCs and Kryneck flosses, and I'm stitching this on a wheat Lugana. And here it is. It looks so good. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. These lavender and lace Christmas pieces, if you're into like the very 90s Christmas, which I am, I love this very traditional, kind of old school Christmas, because it reminds me of my childhood Christmas. You know, I'm a kid of the 90s, so this is totally up my alley. I just absolutely adore this. And the realism that lavender and lace gets with these blended stitches, out of this world. It literally blows my mind. This is amazing. I actually follow this lady, Christy. I'll pop her Instagram name here. And she was working on this project and totally just blew me away. It looks so good. So check her out if you're interested in some really good stitches, because she's real amazing. But yeah, this is such a beautiful piece. I absolutely love it. It's one of those ones that it's like a pain in the butt to stitch because it has Kryneck and it has blended stitches and, you know, all those things, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. It's beautiful. I would love to get this done, or at least get it closer to a finish for Christmas in July. But as you can see, I have a lot more Christmas stuff than I thought I had. My next project, this is in another me-made bag. So there's some cute kind of woodland creatures, and this is a Little House Needleworks The Bookshelf. I like this project, but honestly I think my style's changed a little bit because I don't absolutely love it any longer. It's all DMCs, so I just did all the called for DMCs. It's nice, kind of just neutral palette, not really pulling to any sort of season, so it's one that you can just hang up in your house all year round. I really like that. I'm actually pretty far on it as well. I think I'm stitching this on 36 count gray by Classic Color Works. No, Weeks Dye Works, yeah. And I don't know why I feel weird about this project. I think it's because, okay, so I'm stitching it 1/2 on the 36 count, but it's one of those ones that if I would have paid a little bit more attention to the actual books that are on here before I purchased it, I probably wouldn't have purchased it. Sense and Sensibility, I like. Little Women, I like. But Wuthering Heights and The Secret Garden, I actually don't really care for those. And honestly, I'm not going to take the time to rechart all of that. I'm just not. So I don't know. I'm going to finish it for sure, and I'll probably hang it up. Like, I'll have the other book one that I had, the one that has the White House on it, the Plum Street one. I'll have that there, and then above it I'll probably have this one because I think they're going to be the same size, so I'll be able to do the same size frames, I think. I'll see, but yeah, I mean, I think it's cute, and it's one of those ones that I don't really think people are going to be up close looking at it in my house or anything, so it won't really matter that it's not my favorite books. Because as you guys can see, if you're new to the channel, I'm an avid reader. Have a lot of books and they're all history based. So I read a lot of psychology and I read a lot of Tudor history. That's probably my favorite. And I also read a little bit of fantasy. So like there are some other, in here, so it's like Sarah J. Maas. I have her in here. Down over here is the Witcher books. So I mean, I read some fantasy as well. But anyways, that's off track. So next project, Also in a Me Made bag. I just love this fabric. It's so cheerful and I love it. And the project is so cheerful too. So this is one that I got from Hemlock and Rye. I'll pop a picture of the pattern here. This is the Misspelt Sampler, and I'm using all the called for flosses, which are lovely. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. Look at those colors. Tell me you don't just want to live, breathe, and love this colorway for the rest of your life. I'm stitching this on 40 count Chalice by Picture This Plus, 1/2, and here is my progress. It washes out so bad when I hold it up to the screen, but I think you can see back here, it's like this beautiful honey champagne golden color. It's so pretty. And I just have a fat quarter, so the whole project will fit on this, which is crazy. That's a really good project size, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love this. It's absolutely stunning. So yeah, it's definitely one of those ones that I want to get more work on it done. Hemlock and Rye has some beautiful reproduction pieces, so check them out. I will link their page below because the reproductions are amazing, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about these reproductions, but I feel like Hemlock and Rye puts a lot of thought into picking the colors. Like, I've seen the behind the scenes from her, and she really puts effort into picking out her colors. So, I mean, give credit where it's due. That's some good stuff. I really do love that. So that is that. Next one, also in a Me Made bag. I don't know why I have this in a Halloween bag, but I do. I actually saw that someone's starting a sale with this. So this is Modern Folk Embroidery's Love Gains. I'll pop a picture here. I don't remember who I saw that's starting a sale. I can't remember. This is... Anyways, I'm stitching it on 36 count Oyster Shell by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm stitching mine with Dinky Dyes because Dinky Dyes are my faves, and this is Mystic Pools by Dinky Dyes, which is a beautiful plum purple. And honestly, I just copied Bridget, the museum stitcher, because she recently had her finish actually at StitchCon. I'll post a picture here. This is my favorite, like all-time favorite cross-stitching project I've ever seen in my life. It's so good. It's so beautiful. And honestly, she gave me her leftover flosses, which also could make me cry. But I almost want to restart this with the flosses. That's how much of a copycat I am. I just love it that much. But I do love the Dinky Dyes and how it's turning out. So here is my progress so far. Yeah, I love it. I think it's so pretty. I love the purple on purple, and I'm really excited to get some progress on this. I love monochromatic pieces. It just kind of has to be one of those things I'm in the mood for, so I'll pick it up next time I'm in the mood for a monochromatic piece. But Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery really knows what he's doing. His patterns are just beautiful, and I also like reading all the research that he has in the pieces. I actually have one of his mystery stitch-alongs. I think it was like the 2022 mystery year-long stitch-along, or no, maybe the 2021. Anyways, someone actually gifted it to me, and I really want to start that. That's such a pretty piece. And I have a whole hank of deep chocolate brown floss. Ooh, I feel like that'd be really pretty. Actually, on Heartland by Picture This Plus. I feel like that'd be really pretty. Anyway, moving on from there. Again, in a Me Made project bag. This is just some really fun Halloween fabric. I have a bunch of these kitted up, but this was my first one that I started, the Prairie Schooler Trick or Treat. And I'm using all the called for. So the Witch Old linen that's called for, all the DMCs that are called for. I didn't change a single thing. And here is my progress. So I just love this. It's so cute. Every time I look at it, I'm like, man, I need to pull this back out. But the 2/2 on this fabric is killer. Not only does it just like, it's hard to even get your needle in and out, but also outside of that, like, those are some dense stitches, okay? But I do love them. They're so cute. So I definitely want to pull this out, hopefully get a finish, and hopefully move on to the next ones. The fabric is not very enjoyable to stitch on, I'm not gonna lie. This Witch Olds, it's like, do you hear that? It's not enjoyable. And I honestly was giving it the benefit of the doubt, being like, oh, it'll soften up. It hasn't. I've stitched like a good portion of the bottom of this pattern, and it has not softened at all. But I really like the color of it. Like when you see it in person, it kind of has like flecks of other other colors in it, like a darker and a lighter and almost like a white linen-y. So I really, really like it. It's Whitchell's Lamb's Wool. It's a really good Halloween fabric because it reminds me of like a burlap bag, and that gives me fall vibes. I don't know why. But love the project. Hopefully I get it done within the next year. This is also in a Me Made bag. I sewed up matching bags for Bridget and I, the museum stitcher. I love Bridget. She's my bestie. She's my floss tube stitchy twin. I love her. She's amazing. And this is a monochromatic piece, and I also have the PDF of this, so I'll pop a picture here. I did print some of the pictures, but I didn't print the front cover in true Megan fashion. And so this is Beatrix Potter's Quaker Sampler. It's a very long name. And I'm stitching this also with Dinky Dyes. This is Dinky Dyes Fireside. Beautiful red color. I ordered these from Hollis Hand Creates. Of course, my girl Christine, because you know she's got it going on. She knows what she's doing. And this is actually fully kitted from her because this is also a fabric from her. This is Duxbury by 36 count. And here is my progress. So this one I've got a decent amount done, and I just love the way the flosses look on this fabric. Oh, it's so pretty. I really wanted something close to the called for, and the called for is a Dinky Dyes. It's only a couple shades off from Fireside, but I really liked the way Fireside looked when I looked at the pictures online. So I went ahead and went for it, and I'm very happy with my choice. Duxbury, I have a half a yard here. Here is a good representation of the colorway. It's really a very solid brown. I don't know. I've never gotten a piece of Fox and Rabbit that had a lot of the fun modeling on it. I really love their linens though, so I'm not going to stop purchasing them. I just wish I could get a piece that had all the good modeling on it. Like this, I felt like right here is the only spot that got that really good modeling. Because I actually bought this to do a Halloween project on, and because it was so like not modeled, I was like, oh, never mind. But how perfect is it for my monochromatic piece? So I mean, give a girl a piece of linen, she'll find a use for it. So yeah, I really like this. It's super fun, very beautiful. And I think I got the pattern from Stitchy Box, so I'll link it below. Next one here is in a Me Made bag as well. This is one that is not a vinyl front, so it's like the full closed encased with a different color lining. These are what I've affectionately deemed as my creepy babies, because I have chosen to make them look creepy, not make them look cute, okay? So here are my little kiddos. So this is Laddie, and here's Lacey. I started with Lacey myself. I think these are from 1988. Yeah, 1988. Here are the called for DMCs. I know I need to get a bigger floss ring, but here we are. And I'm stitching mine on 16 count Barnwood, which is an Ada, but it's 18 count Ada. And I'm stitching it 1/2. It's a picture this plus Ada. It's very purple. Can you tell how purple it is? Kind of, not really. So here's my start of little Lacey here. And the reason I've made her a little bit creepier is I've chosen to just do it on a darker fabric, but I want to hang these up for Halloween. So essentially I'm going to have her hanging in an oval, just very like ornate oval frame. I'm hoping I can find something thrifting or antiquing, and I think it'll be the perfect addition to my creepy Halloween decor. Because the pattern itself is actually very beautiful and very well done. Like, my goodness. Do you see all these color changes in her hair and in her face? It's amazing. Like, gosh, these, like, any of the older patterns I've stitched, the quality of them, out of this world. Like, I see why people were all about the stitching back in the day, because this is some good stuff, okay? But, like, if you look at her here, she looks very cute, you know? She looks very pretty with her little goose, which is also very 80s. Do you guys remember the little goose with the bonnet? Do you remember that? But anyways, I'm going to be omitting the duck, and I'm actually going to have like a gravestone behind her, and then potentially have her holding something more creepy in this hand. I'm not quite sure yet. Because actually, you know what? The basket of the flowers is creepy enough to have her next to a gravestone, so might work out. And I'm really liking the Ada as well. I don't know if I'm gonna stitch Laddie though. She's a lot of work, Lacey on her own. I mean, one kid is enough. But then to be a mother to two, that seems like a lot of work. I don't know. I do have them fully kitted, so I have enough flosses for Laddie and Lacey here, and I do have another piece of barnwood in my stash, so I could do it, but it's one of those ones that I'm just not sure if I'm going to or not. Love the fabric. I wish you guys could get a better representation of the color, because this is very purple. I'm like, could I hold it against any other color to make it look more purple? I guess kind of the oranges and yellows is the best you're gonna get, but it's very purple in person. And it's so tricky because it's one of those colors that no matter what you do, it looks very gray. It's not, it's purple straight up. So if you're looking for a good purpley mottled fabric, Barnwood by Picture This Plus. The Ada, it's purple. Next project, also in a Me Made bag. This one I love, even though it was one that's not the see-through front. I love the interior fabric. It's like these little spiders. Oh, love this one. I wish I had more of this fabric. This is another Teresa Kogut. I love her stuff. This is Sidla Witch's Quaker. And I am using all, what is this called? Anchor floss? Just the Anchor Black. I have it on a little, what are these called? A bobbin? Do you call that is this called a bobbin? I don't know. And I'm stitching this on Jackson Fabric Arts, which I'll link her shop below. Absolutely amazing prices. And this is Sienna, the colorway Burnt Sienna. So the Anchor floss with the called for green as well. How good is that? Oh, it's so fun. So I left off here down here with my little Dracula, but it's so pretty. And this fabric is amazing. Amazing. So really love this shop. She only has 32 count, but the 2/2 on 32 count, how good does it look? I mean, come on, that looks absolutely fabulous. So highly recommend, especially if you do like these fun monochromatic pieces. I mean, this is technically not monochromatic completely because it does have, I think it's Grasshopper. No, it's Guacamole by Weeks Dye Works. So really fun contrast color. But you know, these like bright, funky fabrics for Halloween pieces or for fancy ladies, oh, so good. And she has all sorts of colors, so go check her out. I've purchased several fabrics from her and I've never been disappointed. They're all beautiful, and now that I've stitched on one, I can truly say it's amazing to stitch on the fabrics. They feel fabulous, so love that. I think we're getting to the end. Let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, I have one more. Okay, 2 more projects. So this is also an Me Made bag. And Alexis gifted me this little teddy bear. It's so cute. I put it on here because this is my very first sal that I ever started with the girlies. And this was like the original little grouping of girlies. We have expanded since. And it's crazy how close I am with these ladies. I just love them so very much. You know who you are. I don't even have to list you guys off. I'll probably link y'all down below though, because you guys are who I'm watching and who I'm always loving. But this was a sal that I started with Bridget and Alexis, and this is the Summer Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I am doing all of the called for, so these Valdani flosses are exactly what I'm using, and I'm using the blush Picture This Plus fabric in the 28 count. I did not change a thing because I loved this project from the very first time I saw it. And in person, it's even better. Look at these flosses. I mean, are you kidding me? They're amazing. And these are actually cotton flosses. I thought that these were silks. They're so soft and lovely. And let me show you my start. So recently I was able to actually meet up with Bridget at StitchCon, and we took a picture together. So I'll insert a picture of us together here, but here is my start. I definitely want to pull this one out because it's just so summery and fun and beautiful. And I mean, look at those colors. Oh, stunning. And the blush fabric in person is much more pink. So I hate that you guys can't get a good representation of this color. It just wants to wash out on the camera, but it is so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. And the way that the Valdani flosses are popping off of this is just like nothing else. It's so good. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So highly recommend this project if you were ever thinking about kitting up these summer Quakers or any of the Quakers, because they have all the seasons. Oh, they're fabulous. Go for it. Go for it. It's so good. And I cannot wait to start the autumn one, because I have the autumn one as well. I don't think I'm going to stitch the other ones. I might stitch the winter one, but I think if I stitch the winter one, I'm going to change the fabric, or maybe even change the flosses. I don't know. Make it more my version of Christmas. So we'll see. My version of winter, I should say. And my last but not least, my last WIP is Little House Needleworks Suffrage Act. This is another one that I'm very close to a finish on, and I'm stitching this on Picture This Plus. I want to say it's fawn, but it might not be. And I'm using all the called for flosses. I have made some changes though, so I'm going to go ahead and point out the changes here after I give you a little overview. So my changes are that the bunting up here was a red, white, and blue. I went ahead and changed it out for the traditional American suffragette colors, which is gold, white, and purple. So you can see that there. I have her almost finished. I just need to finish out the white stripes on the bottom of her skirt. I think I'm missing some of those. And then she'll be done. And then I just really, all that's left is the bricks on the bottom. There's like one pot here that has some flowers in it. And then I'm missing the stars here. And that's it. Then I'm done. Have I been working on it though? No. In true Megan fashion, right? So I really like this piece. I think this is one that I'm going to do a flat fold as well, because I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, to be honest. I just felt like it was one of those ones that was a little bit of a different size and shape, because it's more of a longer piece. And so someday, you know, my hopes and dreams are to have a beautiful wall filled with stitching, and this will have the perfect home in that wall. You know what? It's Wren by Picture This Plus. That's what it is. Wren and Fawn by Picture This Plus are some of my favorite neutrals, and Fawn is a little bit more pinky toned, whereas Wren is a little bit more of that solid neutral. All right, so that officially is all of my WIPs. Wow. I want to cry, because it's like, this is, I'm looking at all the piles around me on the ground, and this is so many memories, and it's my life the past year and a half, and it's my hobby and my passion, and it's something that I've gotten to grow with all of you, and I've gotten to know all of you through, and like all of these just random projects have opened up all of these doors for me to befriend you all, and I have never felt more welcome and more loved, and I've never felt more support than I have in this community. And so it literally just makes you want to cry. So I'm gonna stop. Because it's been a true blessing to share this hobby with you all, and I can't thank you enough for your support and love. So yeah, thank you. I love you all so very, very much. I will catch you the next time I film a regular floss tube. So have a wonderful next couple weeks. If you celebrate, have a great 4th of July, and that's everything. Bye. I can hear my daughters getting frustrated. Amira, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you upset about something?
No.
Okay. Love you.
Mom, can I have a popsicle now?
Sure, you can come and get one from the freezer.
Mom, I really like
Nope,
your
come
tiny
down.
scissors.
I know, but
So
you
cute.
don't pick up scissors, okay, honey? All right, go ahead. Your iPad's in the kitchen, honey. All right. Love you.
Love you.
Hey, honey, when you're done with that, throw the popsicle stick away, okay? Now I have floss tuber nose though, so I'm just gonna take a minute to zhuzh my hair into my nose. Okay. Okay, so okay, Mr. Motorcycle Man.